be attempting the problem of the day today, and that is finding pairs with certain sum. So here we are given two arrays, nums1 and nums2, and we are asked to implement a data structure that supports two queries. The first one is add a positive integer to an element of given index in array nums2, okay, and the second one is count the numbers of pair ij such that nums1 of I plus nums2 of j is equivalent to a given value. Okay, got it. So I will be copying this particular code in my IntelliJ so that we don't, it will help basically not to write the variable values and everything over and over again. It will auto suggest. Yeah, so the question is like we need to inside the add, for the add function, let's go first. We need to add a specific value, that is val, inside the uh, value which is at the index in nums2. So this basically says nums2 of index plus equals to value. This is what we need to do, and inside the count function we need to find the pairs of indices I comma j, where I is in nums1 and j refers to index in nums2, and nums1 of I plus nums2 of j should be equals to tot. That's it. That is what we want to do. So first we will be starting implementing the constructor for this class. I will be declaring two integer arrays, that is nums1 comma nums2, as we don't have the array parameter inside the add and count function. So what I will do, I will just do this dot nums1 equals to nums1, and same I will do for nums2. Now I will just uncomment this class that says nums2 of index should be, we should increment the value at index in nums2, okay. And inside the count function, we know like for counting the pairs we can just loop over the two arrays nums1 and nums2. So what we can do, int of I in nums1, and I can do for int j in nums2 basically, and I can do if nums1 of I plus nums2 of j should be equals to tot. Then I can just we need to basically get the count, so I can maintain a count equals to 0, and I can just do count plus plus, and we can return the count, return count. Yes, this is what we want to do, but I would like to see the constraint first, because this will be of time complexity order of n into m. N is the size of basically nums1, and if I consider m is the size of nums2, so I would like to see the nums1 and n and m values. So n is around 1000, less than 1000, and m is 10 to the power 5. So even this will work, this might work basically, considering based on the time limits, but we can surely improve it. So I will just try to submit it first. Nodes to of index, okay. It is giving us wrong answer, output 8 12 20, something we have missed. So what is that, we are declaring nums1 nums2, and then we are adding the value inside the nums2. I hope this was what we wanted add. add VL to nums2 of index, hmm, nums2 of index plus equals to value, and return the number of pairs ij such that nums1 of I plus nums2 of j. Back we are like taking I is not index over here and j is also not an index. These are two basically values, so we should not be doing this. We should not be considering them as the index. We should be considering them as two values which should equals to tot. Then we are increasing our count, and now I'll just submit it again. Okay, now I will try to submit it. It will probably time out. Yeah, so this is what it was expected. So the what we can change over here is, we know nums1 size is around 1000 and nums2 size is 10 to the power 5. So if we can avoid this particular loop, which is second loop, then we can surely improve our time complexity. So to do that, what we can do is, we are basically only finding, if the first value is decided, like first value, if I do first value is first value is I basically, then the second value will be basically second value will be equals to tot minus first value. So we don't need to iterate over whole array nums2. We just need to find the number of instances where second value is present inside the nums2. So for counting, we can surely like maintain a map. So I will declare a map. I will also delete this first value, second value, and now I will be declaring a map of integer comma integer, that will I will call it frequency, and inside this I will say this dot frequency equals to new hash map. And now we also need to like store the frequency of the values inside this map. So I will iterate over the array nums2 for int I inside nums2, and I will do frequency dot, I will be adding a value which is frequency dot put, and the key for that value will be like I, and the value will be frequency dot get or default I comma 0 plus 1. So we are adding a pair where the key is like I, which refers to a value inside the nums2, and whose value will be get me the previous value if it is there inside the map. If it is not, then give me the default value, that is 0, and we are adding 1 because this is a new record. So this is basically doing, if inside the map we are having a map of 1, and we are having a key 1 whose count is 2. So now we are just changing its count to 3 basically, because we have found one more records where we have same value. Just don't get confused between the key and value. So now I will be just even we can like do the same thing, that first value and second value. So I will just do uh, cnt would be plus equals to free. Also before doing that, we should be now, as we are maintaining like basically the frequency of the values inside of nums2, so here we are also adding inside the nums2, so frequency should also be getting updated along with nums2 array. So what I will do, I will just say there was some older value basically, I will say old value, I'm just trying to declare like redundant variables, otherwise we can just avoid declaring them. Old value will be nums2 of index, and the new value will be afterwards new value, which will be nums2 of index. Okay, now we need to basically uh, decrement a count for the old value as that has been changed. So I will say frequency dot put, the key will be our basically old value. We need to change the value for that, and I will say frequency dot get old value, and which will be and one minus one. And why it is giving us error? Acha, okay. I don't need to do get or default. I can just do get do, because we know that old value surely exists in the frequency map. And now I need to do frequency. For the new value we need to add a record, or like update a record. So I will do frequency dot put new value comma, and frequency dot up. Now basically new record might be there or might not be there, so we need to basically use get or default. In case of old value we were sure that old there should be a record for that, so we will say new value comma 0 and plus 1, and that's it. And now we can do basically count plus equals to, we need to get the records where basically we will do get or default. There might not be a record for this particular case, so I will do tot. If we are taking I from nums1, then we should be taking tot minus I from nums2, and the default value we can say is like 0. If there is no record, we can consider 0 number of cases, and that's it. I think yes, I can just do update. I will run it. Okay, I will try to submit it now. Yeah. So we are basically like we are not iterating on nums2, so our type complexity has reduced. We are iterating on nums1, that is order of like and which is equivalent to 1000, and we are making a query over nums2. Sorry, we are making a query in the frequency map to get the count of values, count of value which is required which is required in our case from nums2 array to be equal to make a sum which is tot.